everybody. So today I wanted to actually record myself changing bass strings for the first time. Going to be using Ernie Ball strings. I bought them myself. Bass strings are more expensive than I initially hoped. And I'm going to be changing the strings on this Epiphone Thunderbird. This is a guitar a buddy of mine in high school pretty much gave to me, I suppose. Well, he handed it to me one day and he never took it back. So I haven't changed the strings on it since I got it from him back in 2012-ish. It's 2019, so 7 years. I haven't changed the strings on this thing in 7 years. Now, we are going to be using a couple tools. I'm going to be using this string winder / cutter from, I don't remember, Durazo. I'm going to be using this whine to keep myself entertained. And I'm going to be using a drill, just in case I need a drill. If you couldn't tell by now, I have some tools I strongly prefer. The number one tool for me is a hammer. So, you can't see this too well, let me adjust slightly. Bass, string winder. Now, my wife is a big fan of saving as much items as you can, in other words, not throwing anything away. Ordinarily, I would just cut the strings off, but since she wants to be environmentally friendly, I am not going to. So, for wrapping purposes, I will wrap once one way, wrap once the other way, and then just twist inside, and that'll keep it relatively steady. This is the E string. Like it matters, I suppose. Next, if you've never used one of these tools, they're quite useful. They have a couple different ways to go. It'll fit on your typical guitar, and apparently it'll fit on these really fat bass tuning keys, or tuning machines, I believe they're called. Just take it, use the side angle, smash it on top. Well, not really smash, but place it on top. Place it on top, like so. Then you can just twist and twist and twist and twist. And this will make it so you don't spend hours untuning or retuning this instrument. Because, you know, time is precious and we don't want to waste any time doing things. At least I don't. Now, we haven't changed the strings on this thing for 7 years. So I'm going to spend a little extra time actually cleaning this guitar up. I don't have any polish, but I do have some microfiber cloths. And I'll walk myself through that process as I go. Same deal. I'm just going to do this for all the strings. Do 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 do. La da 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 da. Just until it's loose, and then you could kind of crochet it out. We are almost done with the easy part, which is taking off strings. Next, we are going to attempt something I have never done, which is put new strings onto the bass. Do, 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 do. And in case you want to see me twist and shout, twist it up, babe, and then, oh. That happens sometimes. I get distracted. Whew. Now then, I forgot to mention what type of cloth we'll be using. This is a microfiber cloth, similar to the one you might use to clean your glasses if you wear glasses. It is also by Durazo. They make a lot of great products. Apparently, I use a lot of their stuff. So, Durazo, if you're watching this, you should send me more stuff. No. I'm just going to take this microfiber cloth and gently rub it over all of my surface area, see what I can clean. Now typically you could buy some actual polish so that your guitar, bass, instrument will have some extra shine. I'm sure a lot of things sell this, but I don't have all the money in the world, so I'm just wiping down all the dust that has accumulated over these years. It really is a beautiful instrument. And you know, nowadays, it's much easier to get a gig as a bassist than it is as a guitarist, because just about every musical style uses the bass guitar in one way or another. And that just appeals to the versatility. Now then, another thing you can do, if you want to make sure you get the most, if you want to care for your instrument, actually care for it, you should take the time to examine underneath the frets, or just the frets in general. Make sure that you spend some time cleaning it, and when you actually take off the strings, it's a perfect time because there's nothing stopping you, there's nothing in the way. Good time to actually clean off all the little grime you may have accumulated. Now, I don't have any, well, actually, I guess I do have some tools for this, but I'm just doing a quick change-up, checking out how this instrument looks. And then it's always nice to do this sort of care yourself. It makes it more personal. Now, I have successfully wiped this instrument down. I have at least taken off the dust that has accumulated over the last couple of years. I am going to attempt to put on new bass strings. I have never done this before, so let's see if it's actually difficult at all. Yay, it opened. And we're going to take a wine break. Alright, so another thing that's important to notice is the actual size of the strings. I purchased a pack that was 45 to 100. If you play electric guitar, this is very large in comparison to an electric guitar, in which the strings typically range somewhere from like 9 till 46, 50-ish. So the lowest bass string is almost the same as the highest guitar string. Now, simply put, on an Epiphone Thunderbird, we could take the bass string, and you just want to get it to catch in the bridge here, like so. Then we're going to follow it all the way up to the top, the tippy top, tippy. Into the actual groove of the bass. We are then going to run it through where it's at a nice, safe angle, and begin to twist. Now, instead of spending the time to twist it all by hand, I am going to twist it like so. Oh! Already messing up. So again, I have never changed the strings on a bass before. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, this is starting to get tighter. I believe this is working. It is making sound. On an instrument like this, you typically want all of the strings to curve inwardly. By that, I mean when it is sliding, you want it to go in the same direction. I wouldn't want the bass string to be falling on the inside like so, because that'll create issues with the intonation. You want it to be as straight down as possible, and this is true for most instruments. Well, stringed instruments. Next, similar deal for this string. Now, a bass guitar is pretty similar to a regular electric guitar in that the bottom four strings are the same as the bottom four of the electric guitar. By that I mean, this string here, the one I am tightening, is the D string. E, A, D, G. The first string I put on was the G string. For now, I am just focusing on actually getting the strings on, after which point I will fine-tune them, get them into the correct tuning. But from what I can tell, putting on the strings of a bass guitar is not a lot different than putting on the strings of an electric guitar, which is good for me. Oh! So this is actually the low E. I have placed it onto the wrong field. Pretty simple. Do 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 do. Da 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 do. Now then, one last string and we are done. Pretty easy. Thank you for joining me today. I wasn't expecting this to be anything too outrageous. It is restringing a bass. We have a quick little rundown, quick little wipe down. Something I am noticing, however, the bridge of this bass is sort of floating. So, some of the strings are rising up more than the other strings. I believe this is due to the way it is actually sitting inside of the position, or sitting inside of the positioning. So I'm going to loosen the strings real quick and make sure that they are falling inward correctly. This is what I mean here. If you can tell, you might not be able to, but basically, these bridge pieces are not falling flat inside. So, I believe this is due to actually being overextended for some reason. So if I push them back, I believe they'll fall into place the way we need them to. So it was actually the opposite of what I thought. I had to push them forward a little. And now they're sitting more aligned so that the strings are actually completely flat rather than being high. That's our next video. We will be high when we... No, I'm joking. Alright. Thank you for joining. I'm going to cut this video here, and I'm going to be fine-tuning this instrument. You'll probably see me playing it a little bit more in the future. Please join me next week. I am going to eat one of my ghost peppers and play Hot Tamales by Robert Johnson. Or try to. Let's see how that goes. Anyway, thank you for joining us. My name is Richard Durazo. If you have any ideas or anything you want me to try out, let me know. It's pretty easy, changing strings on a bass, nothing too outlandish. Subscribe, let me know what you think. I'll see you again soon.